All right, good morning and welcome back to the Good Morning Anambra show, the discussion segment where we'll be discussing this morning misinformation, a threat to democracy and social stability. We keep talking about that, when issues arise, we keep being wary of, putting the right information there. So that is the bane of our discussion this morning, I believe, IJ.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, of course, right here in the studio we'll have, a very important guest with us to discuss this really very important topic this morning. One of them is Mr. Dennis, or rather Dr. Dennis Ekemeze, who's a Chief Research Fellow and Analyst for the Universal Center for Community Dialogue and Citizen Resource Management. And we also have Dr. Okechukwu Onwebu, Anambra State Correspondent, Blueprint Newspapers. He's also the founder and editor of factcheckng.com. So these two wonderful guests with us in the studio will be doing justice, hopefully, to this topic with us this morning. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to have you here.
All right, let's begin to look at this topic: misinformation, decimation of misinformation, fake news. A whole lot of, nomenclature, a whole lot of vocabularies to define this topic. Why should it be something to talk about, Dr. Fact Check NG?
All right. Good morning, Anambra. Yes, the reason why we're supposed to be discussing it always because information is said to be power. And if you are misinformed, you are deformed forever. So we need to always know what is right to be done and do them accordingly. That is why we need to be talk about it always.
All right, coming to you, Dr. Dennis. What can you say? What can you say gave rise to misinformation?
Well, there are many factors if you want to analyze it properly. In every action there's always an intent. What is the intention of the person who wants to give out such information? Whether you call it fake news or misinformation. The ultimate is that that person wants to misdirect issues or matters for his own personal interest or for his or her own personal gains, which at times may be positive or negative depending on how the person wants to dish out the information. And once it's misinformation, it is purely on the negative side. And if it's on the negative side, it is counterproductive, or it will be counterproductive.
What do you mean by counterproductive?
It will not enhance the productivity, then it will lead in the discontent with mutual coexistence, and then it will also bring about disequilibrium and disharmony in the system.
Okay, Dr. Okechukwu, in these days of information outbreak, let's just put it that way, when do we say that an information is fake? Because sometimes, like what happened in Kaduna recently, whereby good number of people were abducted, and the police said it's not true. Social media said it is true. So in a case like this, where do you now start saying that this information is misinformation?
Okay, all right. In the case of Kaduna issue, actually the blame game there, you can start from the police, because actually the people when the church released the information, they came out with facts, but the police, the law enforcement agents, their own was just to counter it, to douse the tension. So you will know that information is factual when you are seeing the facts, when you are seeing the figures, everything, the data is displayed. Not when somebody just come out and tell you that 100 of people were kidnapped in so place. If the person want you to believe the information, you should bring out the data. Let us know how many people, when, time, what time did the event took
Okay,
place.
so until you see data, information
Yes.
is not authentic.
Yes, you need
And
to.
then you can also misinform the public because you want to douse the tension.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying now?
Yes.
So it is right for you to misinform the public.
It's not right.
Because you want to douse the tension.
No, it's not right.
So why would police say that it did not happen when it happened?
Just like what they released, the information they released later, they said they needed to confirm. They needed to confirm. Sometimes they do those things in what we also call information management. Only problem now is that the issue at hand is not the issue they're supposed to try to manage information. Because you can manage information at times when you see that releasing this type of information may cause more harm to the society. It may make people to start to go to the street and start to and decide to burn houses. So if in that case you can manage information by not releasing the factual information to douse tension, but that does not mean that it's right. But those people that do this are mostly those in government, but they do it in a rightful way, not in this manner, because it's issue of life. Life is involved, so that is it. So it's not right. What they did was not right.
Well, let's talk about information control. You know, can we say information, like you were just talking about, we were just talking about the situation in Kaduna. We're also talking about, or rather, let's also make reference to the elections, or prior to the elections in Anambra State 2025. Let's also look at prior and during the elections in 2023. And let's also look at the very recent development in Abuja a few days ago, where reports had it that there were attempts to, would using the word humiliate the minister of the FCT be the right statement to explain that, and a whole lot of things. Let's look at these scenarios. Let's look at these how best do I put this thing? So these areas or these times or during this period or these situations led to lots of information that people could not point out to say, oh, this is right, this is not right. Especially now that we have AI, people creating lots of content via artificial intelligence, people creating content via social media, and a whole lot of things and all that. So in situations like this, how best do we, especially the average person, what efforts can the average person make to decipher the right information from the wrong information? Any of us can go through.
Okay. Yes. What we do in order to decipher information that is right, true, and the information that is not true in this era of social media and all manner of digital media platforms. One is the source. Who is the source? Is the person releasing the information the rightful person to say it? Like if it's a crime, if it's coming from the media, how authentic is the media? If it's a media house like Sun, Punch, and so on, you will know that before they release such information, they will try to balance it by getting trying to get to the police, because the police is supposed to speak due to the media is credible. So so the type of information being released here, if it's coming something like crime, should come from the source, those people that are supposed to be in charge of it, like the police. If you are talking about football, it should come from the sports, from the ministry. If you want to talk about anything that is coming out, the information should come from the rightful way, from the people, from the source. The source must be credible. The source must be the
what
people.
Of situations, what of situations? Because in recent times,
social media,
in recent times, we've seen reports come from sources. Like we were just talking about the Kaduna incident, yes, whereby the local government chairman and even the media try to downplay the actual, let's say the effect, or they tried their best possible to talk about how I won't say the depth or whatever did happen, but somehow the local government tried their best possible to even buy the media and all that. They had to take private sources or private individuals or group of people to say, oh, whatever the government said or whatever that source which is expected to be the right source put out is actually not true. But this is true. Where does this, what happens during this point? That is to say, trust is now in question. When trust is in question, what now happens?
You can take it from that person, just like you mentioned. The institution that will now bring out the information should also be institution that is trusted. The humans, the people that are bringing out the information now are those known, not people that come to social media and remove their pictures using other people's pictures. Like the people that release this factual information when the police and others try to downplay it. Then we are the people that volunteer information, people that know, that you will know, the people that you can identify their addresses, people that you identify by names and so on. People like VDM can do that because they are the people, they don't hide themselves. But in a situation whereby somebody that is doing it is answering one nonsense name that is not that you cannot factor whether this name is an Igbo person or a Yoruba person, this person is a Nigerian or not. Whether when the person is answering using the name of a town to cover up, when the people are using another pictures to cover their faces on social media, in that case you don't need to trust them. So the people now doing it are now trusted media. They have made themselves a trusted media organization too. So they are rightful sources too.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Kim is here. Now that we have established that even the government or government apparatus can misinform the public. One, because of what happened in Kaduna. Two, because of what happened during last time that we rumored there was a coup. And some people say there was no coup, and today they set panel and they have agreed there was one. And then there are so many of them, one of them being what we saw this morning in the newspaper, that a few weeks ago, some members of the House of Representatives and even the Senate said that the tax law that was, passed to the bill that they passed and then transmitted to the president for assent, that what they saw after gazetting is not what they passed. And they started, talking about that and let's investigate. And all of a sudden, they came out today to tell us that, okay, we have discovered that is what we passed. So with this in hand, how can we trust the source of the information? If government or government apparatus can lie to the public in a situation like this, how do we trust the source of the news?
Well, you recall that issue of, it's part of the issue of propaganda in terms of information management, and you recall that the architect of propaganda was during the, World War era, and he was used to give the aggressor's opinion. In fact, even during the Nigerian Civil War, you recall, maybe you were not born then, you recall the issue of Kokondem and Radio Biafra.
Kokondem, I think I read something about
where
it.
they use propaganda to boost the morale of the Biafran soldiers, and then also they counter the Nigerian troops. And then if you put all of them together, the question is the person giving information, what is the credibility of that information being given? And what is the authenticity of that person giving that information? And then it calls for proper investigative journalism. In modern time, which my colleague is part of expert that attended the workshop we attended on fast checking. You have to cross-check and then to be able to balance. And I still recall in military tactics information management, it says in security management, where you are in doubt, what do? You ask questions so that you don't put it in doubt.
Or even leave it out.
Yes, if you crowd it out, well, yes, but when you are in doubt, ask questions so that clarification becomes the best solution for you to do. And then you go deeper to investigate and then be able to come up with objective reality, the truth of what you want to say. Of course, we know that at times truth is not absolute. But however, you need to have to manage it. And if you manage it well, you said it during the election of 2023, All of us were hopeful, waiting for the result to come. All of a sudden, they said, what? Is it technical glitch?
Glitch.
A glitch. So you can use semantics words to confuse people and then
to tell lies.
It may not be lying.
Yeah, of
it
course.
may not be lying. We call it. They just said you try to use.
So probably something that was doctored.
Communication. That is where you need
when you
professionals.
suppress the truth, you have told lies.
You may not be lying the way you are seeing it, because you are putting in a language, language people will understand.
No,
allow me to finish.
No, you're trying to say that it's okay to actually doctor reports or information.
I won't use that word doctor. That's why I said allow me to learn. You don't doctor information unnecessarily, but you can know how to palliate. That is the game. It's a game. That is what is stressed. There's a difference between information manager and the information officer.
Yes.
And there's a difference between a journalist and a public relations officer.
Yes.
Who manages information. The journalist is a hunter. Hit it and get it correct, and whether correct or just hit your headlines. But a PR person will look at it. What impact will it have in the society? And that is where we are going. So if somebody is giving misinformation, there's a target, as I said earlier. There's an intention on what to do. Just as he said in the issue of Kaduna. If we allow the information to leak immediately, you may cause problem in the society. However, those people who gave the information were not information managers. And that's why even in the military department, they have Department of Public Relations and the information manager. It's professionals that go there to work, so that you know when to release it, and then you can just put it in a pen.
Okay. Before we get to the role of the journalist and that of the information manager, let us establish the obvious here. Okay, because if government officers, information managers can come out to tell us lies because they want to manage a particular situation, that's why we're having problems here. So, Dr. Okechukwu, what exactly is misinformation, and how does it differ from disinformation in today's media space?
Okay. Misinformation, the differences between the misinformation and disinformation is just the intention. It's all about the intention. In misinformation, in misinformation, you try to probably release information you know that is not right, but just that you want people to believe such information. But in disinformation, you deliberately. But in misinformation, it is not deliberate. It is not deliberate, but intention is there. So it's all about intention. Just like that Kaduna issue we mentioned now. The police used tactics, telling you that they just want to confirm. Maybe they might have heard that the Christians could go on riot to kill, maybe to fight the Muslims or so. They decided not to allow that information to go out then. They decided to see if they can even discuss, have dialogue with the church and so on. But before you know it, the people in the society who have access to the social media, they decide to boost the information there. So that is it. That is just the two different ways there now. So like the military, the coup issue. The military, they were not that they were not aware. They know, but they want to release the information at particular social time. So they deliberately decided not to release it then.
So what the police did in Kaduna, is it misinformation or disinformation? Because there's a difference with the two. When you don't have information, you are not sure. You don't even know that this happened. And they ask you, say, no, it did not happen. Because you don't know. You have misinformed because you don't know. Then there's another difference whereby you know that it happened and you say it did not happen. Is it not what you call disinformation?
Yes.
So let us be able to put these things, this one is this and this one is that. Let us know exactly what we are doing here. Let's get, so that we know where we are having these problems in the society. You tell us that this did not happen, instead of you using a better language, let me investigate. Or we don't have information on that yet. Do you understand?
Yes.
Then coming out outright to tell us that it did not happen, and even threatening to arrest somebody if you say that if he did, that kind of a thing. So let us know the difference between this misinformation and disinformation, so that we know what we're doing in this country.
Yes.
Yes, anybody can come in. You can come in. Ekemeze.
Well, the right, for me, if you want to inform, as I said earlier, give correct information, what you are sure. Even that Kaduna, an information manager will tell you, maybe I'm not aware, I'll get back to you. It's clear than to deny the fact. More especially, I always want people this time around, where you have social media, to be careful on what you say, what you do, even where you do it. You are going to do it, or where you have done it. To be careful, because you don't know who is. The world have ears, and if they have ears, the people listen, even they answer. So you be careful when you want to disinform, because it's intentional. You want to give wrong information. You want to carry out, give a wrong message, and wrong message gives wrong signal, and wrong signal gives wrong reaction.
And then mistrust.
And then, if you continue build up, it leads to what do you call it? Trust deficiency. And then now it questions the credibility of the source, and then even the authenticity of the message, and not to talk of the messenger. You see the three things. So when you disinform, you have already discredited the message you are giving out, and then you already counterbalance or equilibrium you are messenger. You know, at times they will say, take the message and leave the messenger. Because if you attack the messenger, you may not get the message. So once you take the message gives you the facts. Okay, he said with the data also. And then if you have the facts, which we are sure, you work on that. But if you don't have the facts and you don't have even the data helps facts to be analytical. If you don't support your facts with the data, it may not be analytical. However, the point is that you have to be careful to know your source, even to know your messenger. Because our people will say the mechanic will not allow you again to know the mad person. And this is a part of it. So there's always to have clarity in what you are doing, and that's where he comes in. And you forgot it. Fast check. You go and fast check. Of course, it's your NGO. You go and fast check it, and then be able to come up with the reality on the ground. What is existing? Of course, somewhere somebody ICPC jailed somebody this week.
Yes.
For obtaining certificate, and they worked. After verification and every other thing, the certificate was forged. But NYC, and then they said he has to refund the money he earned while using the certificate to work. So it's purely investigative journalism or deeping deep.
Yes, auditing.
And I still recall, my father told me one day, he told me in police force their own time that evidence is a person when matter done, not by telling. So you need to have the facts.
Evidence is a person when matter done,
not by telling. So you have to be sure.
Okay, I like that.
To go to court and defend.
So and when the person when it happened talk, you can't tell and say no be true.
No be true.
If you talk again, I go arrest you.
Like
okay, we'll take a break. Yeah, we'll take a break. Back here, still good morning, Anambra, and we're looking at misinformation and how to manage it in the society. Yeah, well, sorry, we have been reduced to 3, but we just have to continue. Okay, Dr. Okechukwu, let's look at, let's move ahead and look at the dangers. How dangerous can misinformation be to public trust, national security, and social stability?
Okay, misinformation is too dangerous to the society because it can cause war, it can lead to war. Can lead to war because releasing information that something of this nature or something of that nature happened when it didn't actually happen, can make the people in the society to begin to fight themselves. I remember, like, it can also cause social instability. Like during the time of I think in 2021 or so, when we got information that the military was in Anambra State, so a certain place in Anambra State, that they were busy distributing monkeypox or something of that nature. People began to run to schools just to bring their children home so that they will not be inflicted with monkeypox. That kind of issue can cause people, can make people to even fight the military, thinking that they actually came to inflict them with diseases just because of the person that was also the president then, and what the information out there that the man in leadership want to Islamize Nigeria. So anything could have happened then. So that type of information, misinforming the society, can lead to war. It can make people not to even trust a source they used to trust. A credible source will now become no longer be credible. So it can also make people to lose money, like what is happening in Anambra State now, that governor is trying to recover the so-called seat at home. It's making us to lose a whole lot of money. Even those of people are saying whatever they don't know. I know somebody like me that used to go to work. You will come out on Monday, you will not even see the transportation to go to work because of the so-called seat at home.
Does that have to do with the misinformation?
Yeah, yes, because people are being misinformed. People are being told that if you come out on Monday, that you'll be killed. If you come out on Monday, that you this social thing, you will not even see anywhere, that no market will open. I will tell you, for instance, I went to job interview one day in one place in Anambra State here. Then, because of the Monday sit at home, they fixed the interview on Monday. I told them, how do you want me to come to this place? And you know that the place used to have security challenge there. They told me to come, that nothing will happen. I wanted to doubt them, but after everything, I said, okay, as a journalist, let me take the decision. Let me just go. Let me take the risk. If I die, I die. Let me see what will happen. I went there, behold, nothing happened. I was able to reach the place and went for the interview. And after the interview, I told them, because it was a school, I told them that because of this, they gave me the job. I told them because of this, I will fix my lectures every Monday. And that was what I did. And since then, since last year, I've been attending lectures on Mondays. That is what I used to give people lectures. So this is it. But some people would have lost that job opportunities. Even my students, sometimes they will tell me, no, Mondays I sit at home. Don't give a lecture that day. I say, if you don't want to receive lecture today, that is Monday, I will not give you lecture again until next month. And that was how they adapted to that. So it can make people lose money, can make people lose trust they have on people. It can also make people fight. It can make people to start hating people they don't even supposed to hate. There's somebody that's supposed to, that will help you. You end up not receiving the help needed from the person.
Because of wrong information.
Yes, because of that evil thought. You are thinking what people are saying about the person. It will make you start just develop hatred for somebody that really loves you. So it causes a whole lot of things.
Okay.
Right. You really touched this topic, quite extensively. More like you've done great justice to this topic. But again, let's look at, I asked that earlier, but I think a little light was, let's look at information control, especially by government agencies. We talked about Kaduna, we talked about even recently here in Anambra State, especially this sit-at-home directive given by the government, or rather the governor, to the markets in Anambra State and all that. But we see lots of, let's say, different versions of this information out there. Are people trying to, let's say, discredit the impact of that information? All right. So in situations like this, what are some of the things people can do to make sure that people get to see this information the way they ought to? Because there are a lot of misunderstanding as to why. You're just explaining that one of the reasons why the governor and the government decided to make sure that people go to work on Mondays, because there are a lot of disruptions, economic disruptions, and a whole lot of things. So what are the efforts? What is the best approach to put this message out there to make people understand that the plan of the governor, the plan of the government is not to suppress its people, but best to encourage them to, come out of the shell of that sitting at home on Monday instead of being productive?
Okay, all right. Actually, I think the governor has done that yesterday because he engaged with the media. I thank him for that, even though I was not there because I went for lecture too, so I couldn't attend the program. But I think what governor did was right, was in order. So the rightful way of tackling this for the government, what they're supposed to do, even before starting this, the declaration that the sit at home is over, is to engage with the media and use the media to address the public. You can do that using so many ways. It can be by the communities, the community leaders. Maybe talk to the community leaders, let them go to the communities and tell their people the impact, what this thing has done to them, and why they should forget about that sit at home. The impact. So talking to the leadership of the communities, like the Igwe, the President General, and so on, will help. So also using the media, the department there, the press secretary, and the people working with him, they can do that using the infographics. They can do that using even the content, creating content. As somebody like him, I know I lost my mother because of sit at home on Monday. So by the time you call somebody like the content creators, let them create that a video, a scene of such a thing, how what the impact is in the society. It will help the society to understand. It will help people to understand. The market leaders, which I think is going to do today, you should engage with them. Engaging with them will help to make the society understand that this thing is not doing it to suppress them. Also, the lawyers, the lawyers should come out and also tell the people, because the information out there on social media is that they have their rights, because we are an individual. We have our right as private institution to open businesses any day we like. But you are doing it in somebody's, you are suppressing another person's right, telling the person that he must not come out or you kill the person. You don't know, and you think the government now is infringing on your own right, but you don't know you have been infringing on the right of the populace. So that is it. So the legal team should come out too. I know this government has a legal team. They should come out
on Arise yesterday, we saw a legal practitioner. I think a legal practitioner coming out to even support that sentiment of people of not. I won't say sentiment, but I'll say that take on people having their right of not opening, their businesses on certain days, since they are private individuals or private business owners, or or something of that nature. But still going on that, the whole sit-at-home thing. Of course, not the bane of our discussion this morning, but we are talking about managing information so that it does not, disrupt democracy and, of course, social order. All right. So, don't you think the governor or the government have made some, efforts to discuss with stakeholders to make sure that it doesn't get to this point where the government had to make it seem like it's a decree or a strict directive?
That is it. It's also the information management issue too. So it's now what they're supposed to do with the information management team. Those that be releasing information by informing the people, allow the people to know why this thing is this way and why it's not that way. We have so many areas that can the government can come out to do this. Then the people, the society, should also fact check. In fact checking, you do a whole lot of things. Some people think it's something that will take a whole lot of time. No. In fact checking is just what's required of you is one, to ask yourself, this person releasing this information, is it the person that's supposed to release the information? Okay, let's assume that the person is the person a rightful that has the ample opportunity to do that. Maybe because others are working as employee of the government, so you don't trust them because they are employee of government, and this person as a private citizen is now the rightful person to release the information. You yourself can also go online. You can use your Google search We have so many search engines. Even the AI, these search engines can also help you. Go there, ask that information. Just ask the question.
Sometimes some of these search engines suppress information too.
Just like Google search, we also have ChatGPT. They're also there. Then going to media organization websites like Sun, Vanguard, and so on. Just go to their site and know whether, so that you know whether they have also published social information. Because the media live by that they want to drag traffic to make money too. But no credible media that will just want to look for traffic. They must publish credible information. So go there and search and know whether they have published this information you are hearing on too.
Okay.
You can confirm. Then you check the law. We have so many laws in Nigeria. You can download them PDF file if you don't know how to search for it. If you go to Google search, for instance, you type maybe Nigerian
Constitution.
Nigerian Press Council Act 2024 PDF download. Just type it that way. It will bring it out for you to download. You have all those things online. Only that people don't have the time to do this. So it will help you to read. If you even want to
probably they think your priority too.
Sometimes it's not that they don't have time. Sometimes it's knowledge. Okay, what you don't know it. Okay, let's get back to where we are. I was thinking that this fact checking would have been the last thing we'll do, but then we're still moving.
Let's go for a short break. When we come back, we continue this discussion. We want to hear from the street. We want to get their take on this discussion.
The biggest problem according to misinformation, one, it might cost people's life. When you implement or when you show an information concerning about anything, let it be true, so that people will not be in danger. This might cost people's life.
Misinformation has to do with misconceptions. If you wrongly inform somebody, the person will go into error. So I think that even in the media section, there is supposed to be like a guide or control over news or informations. Even in social medias, they could just post anything that is wrongly done. So it will not create a very big problem. So I think it deserves a check. There's supposed to be like social media check or communication check before a news will not pass to the general public.
Those that in office should have a good record.
The danger it poses is a lot. One, it can make people to run helter-skelter. Maybe you say somebody is firing, they are gunning somebody there. It's a misinformation. Somebody may run because of his life and jam running car and die. So misinformation can cause death. It can cause people to be unrest.
To the Good Morning Anambra, the discussion segment where we have been treating the topic misinformation, a threat to democracy and social stability. This morning, right here in the studio with us, a very, trusted, the right source, the right person to actually discuss this topic with us, talking about Dr. Okechukwu Onwebo, who is Anambra State correspondent, Blueprint Newspapers. He's also the founder and editor of FactCheckNG.com. All right. So, Dr. Okechukwu, we were just talking about, still on the topic, talking about managing information properly, making sure that the right information gets to the populace, and a whole lot of things about that. And if you listen to, some of the contributors on the street who gave a contribution saying that misinformation can actually cause, accident. Someone who hears a wrong information or an information that is not true can actually become a victim of panic. You see them trying to run helter-skelter, and in doing that, assuming he's trying to run away from trying to cross the road or something, anything can happen in terms of any form of accident, either via motorcycle or vehicles, and a whole lot of things. All right. Yes. So how best do we, when it comes to information, or rather misinformation that does not have to do with probably the government, let us say human to human information or something, even pranks. Now we see lots of people pranking people in the street, making content of it or something of that nature.
Okay, like one of the guys in the street I was interviewed, he said somebody can actually die in an accident because of this, and I know it happened during the time of EndSARS. I remember somebody died during the EndSARS here at Roma Junction when there was panic that people say, see them, oh, they are coming. So people started running. In the process, one of us then, because I was also running too, so the person just jumped into the gutter there and broke his leg, and they said the person later died that way. So that is it. So it can happen. So what you should do is this, and that type of situation is when you hear that social thing is happening, it is better and advisable that you don't just run. Before you run away, try to find out the place you are running to. Look back, look front, to know where you are running to. This thing was a basic elementary knowledge. We were taught that before you cross road, you try to find out whether there is an incoming vehicle or the one that is going, so that you will not just run to them and they will just smash the person. So it is better that you wait before you run away. When you hear such information that they are coming, you hear gun, try to find out. It's true that they say that yes, but before you run away, no, try to find out. If you don't find out, you end up running towards the direction of where the gunshot is coming from. So that is why you should try to know where the gunshot is coming from, so that you know how you are running, or whether it's even a knockout they are using, because all those kind of things can scare people away. So if you don't just wait, you just hear something and start running, you will enter into trouble. That is it. So you must listen.
Okay, you must listen. And these days of social media being the harbinger of news, let me not just say bad news, okay, that they shun out news more than ordinary media houses would have. So let us find out how can traditional media maintain credibility and then counter false information without losing public trust, okay, judging from the fact that people now tend to trust social media more than the traditional media. So what do we do?
Okay, actually, a lot of social media, a lot of traditional media organizations have started doing that. Like ABS is now online; they are now on social media doing it. So it's very nice. I think what we need now is that training and retraining, so that we can do that perfectly well. Otherwise, those social media will overtake us. But if we keep on training our staff, training ourselves, and this training shouldn't be or will be left to the hand of our employers. No, you as a media practitioner should equally train yourself. You know what is happening. You try to read, go search for information, read, listen to those people who are creating content on social media, so that you will also know how to create content. If your organization does not allow you to do that for them, you do it for your own self, because you are a trusted person. There are those who are following you because they know you that you are working with APS. There are those who are following you because they know you are working with social media organizations another. So because of that, you can outweigh all these people that are very busy dishing out fake news and other misinformation. So that is what we need. We need that training and retraining and engaging them in bomber to bomber in all social media handles, wherever they are, social media platform. Go there, create your own. Make sure you are doing something right, the way they are doing, but your own should be in different way. Try to incorporate new innovations. based on what you have learned from them
and,
what you think
balance
you
your
can do.
stories. But
Balance
most times social media don't balance.
Yes.
They get this story from Arise and they run with it.
So
but
you
as
try
a
to
mainstream media, you get story from Arise there, you go back to
Ask
the
questions
other
from
person, you know, and then get your news balanced.
Yes.
I think this is one of the ways we are going to, you know, establish authority over social media. Okay, let's get back to fact-checking issue. I thought, like I said before, that I thought we would have talked at last. How effective are these fact-checking organizations, especially in Nigeria? And then how can their work be strengthened? Because we have come to understand that some of these search engines, they don't have the complete information you need. Some are not even well updated. You ask them for something you know that happened, maybe you wanted to check, you know, to see the other angle to it, and they say that they don't have information on that. So how do we run with this fast-checking business?
Okay, the fact checking is working, and there are a whole lot of organizations that are into it now, but we are not many. So we need more people to join the program, because it's now it has now become another aspect of journalism altogether. Yes, because it's different from investigation. It's different from investigative journalism. It's called fact checking. So, and it's not what everybody can do, but not everybody will tell you that they have the passion to do this.
So what's the difference? What's the difference between fact-checking and investigative journalism?
Yes, in investigative journalism, you may need to visit social places to confirm whether social things happen or not. But in fact-checking, what you do is you work with data, available data. You work with available data.
Data that you got from where?
That you know that are authentic. Maybe you gather them from online or by calling people on phone, people who are there, who are at the place where it happened. But in investigative journalism, you are required to go there yourself. You're supposed to go there. When you get there, you look at everything, observe everything, verify it yourself. But in fact checking, you may just use your phone and control everything you need. Then gather the facts the way you need it. That is it.
Okay. So, Lada, what practical steps can individuals take to verify information before sharing it? Talking about this social media menace that we are facing, you just get information, you share it. What practical step? You know, you get an information you want to share now on social media. What do you need to do to make sure that what you are sharing is authentic?
First thing is human conviction. Are you convinced that this kind of thing happened? Are you convinced that Okechukwu said this thing? When you ask yourself that question, it will make you to understand whether this social priest, they are saying that he says so thing, whether he will say it or not. After convincing yourself first, the next thing is to ask those who are related or those who are close to that person. If you don't have their contacts, you can go to now social media. You can go to social media to ask social thing, maybe using the artificial intelligence chatbot, or using the search engines, or by visiting media organization website to know whether they have published such a report before. By the time you do all those things finish, you will know that this social thing happened or not. You will also find out whether there is something of there is such a thing might have happened in the past, or if it will happen or not. I'll give you an example of when there was a time someone released information on Facebook that Onitsha North and South plus Obaru have been carved out and joined to Delta, the Anioma. When I saw this thing, I removed it immediately. I had to alerted the person that if you don't remove this thing, I'll report you immediately. You don't ask questions. So in that case, you can go, first thing you will do, try to find out, has anybody reported that there is a new state in Nigeria? That is where you even start. Such a thing, they don't happen. So you now ask yourself, how come the Anioma, what is even Anioma? You will see it, the Anioma is stated there online. You see all those things. So by the time you follow those steps, asking questions and everything accordingly, you will see that social information were deliberately put out there to disinform you, and you recline. Yes.
Okay, we are leaving.
Let's look at consequences. Let's look at consequences because it's really very important because we can't keep talking about misinformation is bad, putting out the wrong information there is bad and all that. So what can we see are the consequences? Because there are lots of means of misinformation when you're talking about a whole lot of them. When you're talking about false advertising, we're talking about defamation, we're talking about fraud, we're talking about perjury and false accusation and all that. So what can we see, especially in Nigeria, according to the law, what are some of these consequences for putting out false information out there?
Yes. One, like I saw in the news yesterday that somebody called Angelo Okoye so have been sent to jail now because of that. Yeah. When you put out false information, the person you defamed can sue you and they will even send you to jail. It is there. Okay. The person you also, when you misinform people, but you will lose trust. Those that trust you will start, you have trust. They'll start doubting you. Whatever you put out there, they will not like to share.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. We are completely out of time, so let's run. Thank you very much, Dr. Okechukwu Onwebu, Anambra State correspondent, Blueprint Newspapers, and who is also the founder and editor of FactCheckNigeria.com. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Obina.
All right, also thank you guys for joining us this morning on the Good Morning Anambra, the discussion segment, and most of the programs we've got for you. All right, remain tuned to ABS, where we'll bring you the Akokowa in the next few minutes. Have a very positive day ahead.